So you want to write a business plan. Many of you probably have never written one, and if you have, you're way ahead of 95 to 99% of the population, and especially 99% of real estate agents, because none of them ever have a plan. So there's some basics to business planning I'm going to review with you. First, the plan's got to be in writing, because if you don't write it down, you're not committing to it. Secondly, it should be up and visual so you can see it. It's got to be staring you in the face every day, so you're remembering what your goals are, what your benchmarks are, what your key performance indicators are. And third, you've got to tell other people, because if you don't tell other people, what will happen is this. Nobody's going to know. There's no accountability, and there's no pressure to perform. And accountability is an interesting thing, because a lot of people say they want to be accountable, and in reality, they're afraid of it. They don't know what it means, or it's got a negative connotation. Accountability is the greatest gift you can give somebody. And by being accountable and sharing your goals with other people, it's going to help you stick to the plan. On the days you don't feel like it, on the weeks you're just not in the mood. This happens to everybody. And when you can say disciplined, because discipline will carry you when motivation can't. I'm going to say that again. Discipline will carry you when motivation can't. When you can stay disciplined to your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly goals, that's where you have a robust business and are making a lot of money. So we're going to start off with a 10-day business plan, because I know a lot of you are new to the business and it can be really overwhelming. I don't know where I'm going to be in a year. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's start off with a 10-day plan. And it's all about setting goals for yourself. So business planning can be super overwhelming. So I'm going to go through the short-term plan we're going to come up with first, and then we're going to work out a 30-day plan, and then ultimately a 12-month plan. It starts in the first 10 days, and it's not all business related. So your 10-day goals, a great way to look at this is determine what those 10-day goals are. And think about things like this: personal, spiritual, family, financial, and business. Family could be, I want to go on a date night over the next 10 days. Personal could be, I want to work out 6 times over the next 10 days. Financial could be, I want to make sure that I'm identifying an investment and saving strategy every time I get a check in the real estate business. Spiritual could be meditation, going to church, whatever floats your boat there. And business, obviously, is appointments, sales, and conversations, the 3 things we always want to focus on. So come up with some specific and measurable goals in this 10-day plan. The key about specific and measurable is this. Any goal, you say you want to make more phone calls, you want to spend more time with your husband or wife, you want to work out more. More doesn't define anything. Specific and measurable is tied to math, so you either hit it or you don't. And that's where accountability starts, having a specific and measurable goal. If you've ever heard of SMART goals, SMART is an acronym, and it stands for S is specific, M is measurable, A is actionable, R is realistic, and T is timely. So something that's specific. I want to set 3 appointments in the next week or the next 10 days. Or I want to go on 3 appointments over the next 10 days. Measurable. You can measure that clearly. Making more phone calls is not measurable, as an example. Actionable. There's a clear path to setting those appointments. You know what to do. There's a game plan to do it. Realistic, you can hit it. It's not some pie in the sky goal that you're never going to hit. And timely means there's a finite amount of time or you have to get this done. So think about SMART goals for each one of these areas of your life. Again, spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal. So now that we've got your 10-day goals, we're going to go over a 411 plan, and it's going to tie into the 3-page business plan that we put together as a team. So why don't we go over both of these here? So we're going to go over the 3-page plan first, and it's the 1-year plan. And again, remember, it needs to be in writing. You need to have visual reminders daily and declare it publicly to others. Here's the asterisk next to this. You can change it at any time. It's a working document, and it's something that can always be adjusted, and that's the reason behind the 411 plan. So how to do it, you got to figure out what your must-haves are. Maybe you need to pay your mortgage every month. You need to pay rent. You need to buy a car, whatever that is. What's the cost of those must-haves? So how much all that stuff costs so you can come up with an amount of money that you need to make. Part of that could be forced savings to buy a house, forced savings for my kid's college fund, whatever it is. Calculate the number of sales needed based on the amount of money you want to make and the cost of your must-haves. Then what are the activities and behaviors that need to happen on a daily basis or a weekly basis for those number of sales? And then you finish out the plan. So Once you decide, all right, on average, I'm making $4,500 per home I sell, and in order to hit my goals for the year, I need to make $100,000. So you divide 100 by 4,500, you do the math, that's your number of sales. Then once you determine that, what are 3 to 5 key behaviors? I'm a big fan of 3 because the person that has 10 goals and 0 goals or 10 objectives and 0 objectives, they complete the same, nothing. 3 is the magic number here. So those 3 behaviors could be, I will have uninterrupted lead generation time from 9 to 11 where I'm talking to at least 15 people a day. That's clear, that's specific, that's measurable, actionable, it's a smart goal. I'm gonna role play 5 days a week to work on my scripts, and I'm gonna spend 20 minutes a day studying about the market. Those could be some examples. You could have an example of I need to go on 3 appointments a week no matter what. Whatever it is, you've got to come up with those 3 to 5 behaviors that are going to become your disciplines to hit your goal. Then once you determine that, you've got those behaviors, you want to write out why the goal's a must. And this is personal. You don't have to share this. And it's going to go up to 10 reasons because once you get up to 10, everyone's couple of reasons why it's a must to hit their goal are all the same. I got to support my friends and family. I'm saving for this. I'm saving for that. But when you get down to like 7 and 8 and you go 10 levels deep, that's when you start to realize what's really moving you and what's your why. And on the topic of why, think about what making this kind of money is going to do for your life. It's going to be way more impactful for you. Then what happens when you succeed, what happens if you fail, and what your accountability plan is. And we'll talk about accountability separately here, but that's a great way to start with that 3-day plan. So now you got your plan, right? We want to put it on one sheet of paper because most people, when they do a business plan, they write these 10 or 15 page long plans. They blow the dust off them in April because they do this in November or December of each year. They never look at the thing, and then all of a sudden they haven't done any of it. So you want to have this up visual right in front of you. That's why one sheet of paper works. And that's where the 4-1-1 plan comes in. And that comes from Gary Keller. Smart guy, big fan of his. So right at the top, what's your 1-year goal? To sell 25 houses, right? To sell 24 houses, whatever it is. Let's make it 24 to make the math easy. So you want to sell 24 homes, and what are 3 key activities and behaviors for you to do that? It could be as simple as have 15 real estate conversations a day, go on 4 new appointments a week, role play 5 days a week, and spend an hour a day doing lead follow-up, or spend an hour a day studying about the market, or practicing my scripts, or whatever. What are those 3 key behaviors you want to engage in? So now you got your yearly goal. Simple. 1 goal, 3 supporting bullet points. Then you go to what's your monthly goal. This is going to adjust a little bit because in January and February, you may not sell as many homes as you do in May or June. That's just how the market works. It's seasonal. So let's say your goal is 24 homes. You want to sell 2 in January. So you want to sell 2 homes in January. How many appointments do you need to go on to make that happen? How many clients do you need to intake? Again, what are those 3 activities and behaviors? And then start off with your week 1 plan. This should be done the beginning of every month. Your week 1 plan is, okay, this week I want to talk to 80 people, or I want to go on 4 new appointments. And obviously the objective is always to get to those 2 sales. And maybe it's I want to get 1 sale the first week so I don't have to be sweating it the next week. And you don't get that sale, then you can adjust your plan for the following week. So it's a week-to-week plan. Short-term goal setting works. So you plan week 1, see how you do, track and measure it because tracking and measuring is important because you can't track your progress otherwise, and then adjust the plan for week 2, same for week 3, rinse and repeat for week 4. That's how you business plan from a very high level for 12 months down to weekly goals, monthly goals that all build up to that annual goal.